guys, welcome to Kid Missing. Yeah, Funky's World. I'm going to show you two different kinds of town histories. This is the town of Sutton. This is actually volume 2, 1876 to 1950. This town history, to me, is the best kind. My mother wrote Wilson on it. Because it literally goes street by street, village by village, and tells you who lived on each side of the street, who they bought their house from, all that sort of stuff. Property of Robert Wilson Jr. family. Okay, this one was written in 52. History Committee hereby pay tribute to the chairman. Okay, but I need, that's West Sutton, I'll go back here. I need Manchog. Well, Wilson. Well, let's look for Hemingway. Yeah, this book is something I'd like to see repeated in Douglas. I should bring it to the Historical Society so they can look at it, because I really think we need something like this for Douglas, and I think I am going to bring it on Thursday. They have, let's see, let me go find Hemingway. F-G-H, Hemingway, 279, right here. So, okay, there's Manchog. Okay, this is the beginning of Manchog. Yep, Manchog. Volume 1 only goes up to 1876. Okay. Between the Georgia Plant's house is a short street called Canal. Alphonse Paso. Donays. I'm trying to find, okay, Everett Toll. Okay, the first house beyond the bridge on the west side of Main Street is now owned by Richard and Delia Ennis. It was formerly the property of BB&R Knight Company. That was the company that owned the big mill, and was sold in the 1922 auction to John Brady of Uxbridge. John Connolly next bought the place, and he in turn sold it to Richard and Delia Ennis in 1949. Let's see. Looking for Hemingway. Oh, that's 279, dummy. That's St. Anne's being built. It no longer exists. Okay, 279. Among families who lived on the property, Mr. and Mrs. Charles Bell, Mr. and Mrs. Roham Lamoureux. Okay, the second house in the rear is occupied by the owners David and Marie Hemingway. Okay, that's my grandmother's cousin, and daughters Charlotte, Janice, and Denise. David is a construction foreman for R.H. White. David was in the Army. Okay, this is property owners by David and Parmelia Hemingway. The children of David, okay. Property owner Charles Bell, next by his daughter Mrs. Marie Jane Prue, then Stanislaus Prue, sold to David and Parmelia Hemingway. The children of David and Parmelia were Delia, who married Richard Ennis, Angelina, who became Mrs. Robert Wilson, and Albert, who went to Taunton, and Josephine to Hartford. The property was later owned by their son, David Albert, and wife. It then became the property of the present owners, David and Marie. I didn't know David Albert owned that house. Huh. And nearly across the street from the Hemingway house, Mr. and Mrs. Russell Parkhurst. Heard the name, but it doesn't mean anything. And that it goes on and on like that, and I love it. These are indispensable for genealogy. I think we need one for Douglas. This is what we have for Douglas. We also have They Raised Horses on Main Street, which I can't afford a copy of because it's so rare that it's extremely expensive online. So, this is a map of the town. This locator map is provided for those readers who may wish to visit some of the historic sites and landmarks in Douglas mentioned in this book. The circled numbers on the map refer to place names and landmarks described in south of Hedgehog Corner on page 37. Okay, and there it is. The little engine that couldn't. And we have, and here's the railroad station. My father used to go there. Well, that was what it looked like in 1910, but my father used to go there in the 50s. Excuse me. The first and second congregational churches are the oldest. Coal, wood, ice, and New England Coke. Now, Coke is not Coca-Cola, and it's not the other stuff. It's actually a production byproduct in coal burning. But it also burns, so. This is from November 11th, 1938, paid by Frank Jones. Oh, paid to Frank E. Jones. Frank E. Jones Coal and Ice Company makes a delivery about 1920. William J. Wallace Jr. It seems strange you have coal and ice. Opposite ends of the spectrum. Look at the old fire trucks. We still have one of those, by the way. So it's not that oh wow. This is a poem that won an award for an Alice in LaChapelle grade 8. This is an older book though, so Alice in LaChapelle's long grown. Let's see, what year did this book come out? Doesn't say, but anyway, Anyway, let me read you this poem. The Big Fire, March 13th, 1904. On Main Street, Oliver Jones yelled fire. It started running all around. Methodist Church, Mechanics Block, and the Central Block were burning down, while the night watchman at the woolen mill sounded the steam whistle. The social center of the community glowed red hot and sizzled. Whistle blasts and bells tolling from the Second Congregational Church awakened everyone in town, and soon they all turned out. The Mumford River was the water source, so they laid down lots of hose. The Fire King hand engine was manned by 100 men or so, but in spite of all their efforts, the water came up slowly, because Cook Street is a hill. Finally, salvation came. The force pump, owned by the Hayward-Schuster Mill. The men worked hard, side by side, most of them soaked right through in clothes that were torn, with faces that were blackened and bruised. The ladies, of course, were all on hand to maybe serve some coffee, bandage a burn, comfort a friend, and then occasionally serve something stronger to indulge in, which was fine since the occasion justified the indulgence. The ladies did not mind. The steeple toppled onto the road and badly cracked the bell. Yet with God's help, the Methodist Church was rebuilt within a year. The Balcom Block escaped all harm. It stands with us today. The Central Hall no longer hosts dances that were so gay. Never again will the banquet hall serve the 200 or more that it could, and out of the ashes the town hall stands where the Central Block once stood. Yeah, this was a while ago because the town hall was still where the post office is now. Again, this was Alice LaChapelle, grade 8. So, there's the police chief and the Douglas marching band in front of the town hall in the 20s. The Douglas band today travels to national and international competitions, frequently returning home with laurels, meaning awards. Below is a recent photo of the band on the Capitol steps. It's not really recent at this point, but I will tell you, I do remember our band oh, these are the Jenks sisters, and that's their dad. Right there and right there. Anyway, that's also very handy in genealogy. I remember our school band actually going and being a part of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade one year. I sat there with my Auntie Edie watching them. It was so cool. Like I said, I think that we should do a book like this. This should be the gold standard for town histories, in my opinion, the way it's done. I mean, Mr. Dudley did an amazing job. This back here looks like Civilian Conservation Corps. Okay. What? Eleanor Schuster. Charles Church. Okay. I think this is Lori's grandfather. Dudley, old Mr. Quinnell, McMahon. Wow. These are some old people. Wilhelmina Usino. I mean, it's absolutely awesome. Both of them. I just think that this is more helpful if you're a genealogist. Although that would also be helpful. Also remember town reports. Because the old town reports, they don't do it so much anymore, but the old town reports used to have, what's this side? Sorry. Birth announcements, death announcements, things like that. So, and of course, the list of every employee in the town, which always is helpful. You know, all the teachers and all the firemen and policemen. Ooh, excuse me, people at town hall, all that stuff. So keep those things in mind, you know. And don't be afraid to go in the town hall and look at the old books, depending on where you live. Some town halls don't have them. They're in the county instead of in the town. But I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it taught you something. Again, I use my own family as an example because that's the example I have. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see you for a fun video. Bye, guys. Bless you.